Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 1 to my Google Gemini chatbot series. That's right guys, we found another app that could potentially give me a chance to talk to Pokemon without, I don't know how good it is compared to ChatGPT, but I've got this one, and there's also one other series I'm going to start doing, may not during right now session, but maybe a little bit later today, if I ain't too tired to do it by that point. Okay? On both apps, one of them is Google Gemini, which I got right here. The other one is called Perplexity AI. And it apparently it has like a actual like memory storage thing like the ChatGPT did, so there's a chance it could go well. However, this one I don't completely know. It did create a story though, which is really good, and it's gonna let me talk to it, which is perfect. Both chatbots I've made on each one are the exact same one. I made the transforming Totodile on both chatbots, and we're gonna see which one goes the best. I'm hoping if one of them goes well, I have another idea for a cool chatbot that's very similar to this, but it's the complete opposite. Because I had a fun conversation testing out, I forget if it was Google Gemini or Perplexity, but there was one where I actually tried testing out, like, I just told it to give me a random story of a transforming Totodile, and it gave me a really cool story about it, and let me talk to that Totodile. So, yeah, how good it's gonna go, I don't completely know. We'll have to find out. They call this story the Timid Totodile's Astonishing Transformations. Just like ChatGPT, it gives you names for the different stories, which I'll give it credit. That's really neat, actually. So, yeah. This one actually has the story, so you guys can actually hear what it says about the story. You guys actually get to hear the story itself. Here's what it says. Once upon a time, a young Totodile was born into a loving family of powerful water-type Pokemon. His parents were a pair of mighty Feraligatr, and he had 10 siblings. Holy cow. 2 other Totodile, 6 Croconaw, and 2 strong Feraligatr older brothers. They were a peaceful bunch, content to live their lives without bothering others, and in turn, they didn't appreciate being bothered themselves. This little Totodile, however, was different from the moment he hatched. He was sweet and kind, but also incredibly timid. He got startled at the slightest sound and was easily frightened. Yet, there was a secret about him that no one, not even his family, could understand. This Totodile possessed a unique and incredible power. He could transform into any animal, Pokemon, or mythical creature he wished. The transformations came effortlessly, causing no strain on his body and using no energy. He didn't understand how he came to have this ability, but he quickly learned to use it to his advantage. Mostly, he used his power for simple, everyday things, like transforming into a speedy bird to get from one place to another, but his special ability really shone when his family was in need. Despite his timid nature, he was fiercely protective of those he loved. One day, a group of humans wandered into their territory, trying to, I want to say, harm his family. The little Totodile, seeing his loved ones in danger, didn't hesitate. With a flicker of energy, he transformed into a colossal 900-foot tall phoenix, its fiery wings blotting out the sun. Humans, terrified beyond measure, ran away as fast as they could, leaving the Totodile's family safe and sound. Another time, his sister was being bullied by a larger, mean-spirited Pokemon. The little Totodile, filled with protective fury, transformed into a 15-foot tall Feraligatr, mirroring his powerful father, and roared at the bully until it scurried away, never to bother his sister again. He never used his power to intentionally hurt anyone unless they threatened him or his family first. His family, in turn, loved him unconditionally. His special ability didn't matter to them. He was their kind, sweet Totodile, and that's all they cared about. Months passed, and the little Totodile, now a bit braver, was out exploring on his own. He was enjoying the freedom of the forest, admiring the tall trees and the vibrant green moss. Lost in his thoughts, he wasn't paying attention to where he was going. At that same moment, a human, seeking a quiet walk and some fresh air, was also strolling through the same part of the forest. Two of you didn't see each other until it was too late. You both collided with a resounding thud. You were knocked backward, falling to the ground with a grunt. The little Totodile, startled and terrified, didn't hesitate. In an instant, a wave of light emitted from him, and he transformed, not into a little Totodile, but into a magnificent, imposing figure. Towering 70 feet over you, wings of a deep blue and a long tail fanning out behind him, was a massive Lugia. The air around you grew colder as the great beast stood still, its piercing eyes locked on you, trembling with fear and surprise. Alright guys, give me a second to get a response going and get this one started. Alright guys, it didn't give me the longest response, and maybe the later ones will. I just set up, still a little confused and dazed, not knowing what ran to me. Then I looked up and saw the massive Lugia staring at me. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I get really nervous and back up a bit while nervously saying, Hey, Lugia! I'm sorry I bumped into you. Just please don't hurt me. The immense Lugia doesn't move, its body still tense and trembling. Powerful draconic eyes remain fixated on you, but there's no malice in them, only an intense, almost overwhelming fear. A low, soft, cooing sound, completely out of place for such a massive creature, escapes from its throat. Sound echoes through the trees, a plaintive and terrified noise. Lugia takes a tentative step back, his gaze still locked on you as if expecting you to lunge at it at any moment. Why would I lunge at a massive dude? I don't know about you. I don't care whether it's a Totodile or not. Think about this. Remember, you ain't really supposed to know that. And think about it this way. What would you do if you saw a Lugia that's 70 feet tall staring at you? Even if the Lugia looks terrified, wouldn't you not be terrified that the creature will get angry and attack you? I would. I love Lugia, but you think I want to make him angry? No. No. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I saw the Lugia step back. I just said, no, please don't hurt me. I don't want to get attacked. It was nothing I ran to you, I swear. The colossal Lugia lets out another soft, whimpering coo. Its massive body still trembling. Its head lowers slightly, and its fearful gaze drops from your eyes to the ground. Flicker of light and a shimmer of air, the immense creature is gone, replaced by a much smaller form, a tiny, terrified Totodile. He is curled into a tight ball, his little snout burrowed between his knees, a single quivering tear rolling down his blue cheek. He doesn't move, clearly terrified and waiting for a strike that never comes. The only sound is the soft rustle of leaves as a gentle breeze passes through, quiet, almost inaudible sob from the tiny Pokemon. I'll say this, I do like how it's actually doing the story, but come on, what happened to the great response? What happened to the flipping long responses? I love those. This might give me an opportunity to test out something though. Do you think, I wonder if I could talk to Google Gemini, like, right here and be like, give me more details without speaking for me. You know, maybe like that, I'll do something. Give me a second, we'll figure things out. Okay, no, it didn't change a thing. I put exactly what I said I was gonna put, so I told to continue the story from here, but we get more details about what the one does and says. I'm not speaking or anything for me, but here's what I said to him. Wait, what in the world? Totodile? Where did the massive Lugia go? And where did you come from? The cold Totodile shudders at the sound of your voice. He doesn't uncurl himself, but his body trembles more noticeably. The small teary sob that was barely audible before becomes a little louder. So he buries his head just enough to peek at you with one eye, a single terrified blue eye that is still glistening with tears. The moment he sees you, he squeaks in terror and buries his face again, whimpering softly. He's so small and fragile compared to the massive creature that stood before you just moments ago. He seems to be trying to make himself even smaller, time plunging into the dirt as he remains in his defensive ball, waiting for something to happen. Fear rolling off of him is palpable, a heavy, suffocating cloud that fills the air around him. Hmm. Alright. I said, "Are you okay? Please don't be scared of me. Do you think I'm gonna hurt you? Or something? Or catch you?" The tiny turtle flinches again at the sound of your voice. He stays in his tight, protective ball, but the tremors running through his body loosen just a bit. Or lessen. Slowly, he uncurls himself and raises his head, his wide, fearful eyes still fixated on you. He doesn't say anything, but his expression's a mix of confusion and intense anxiety. He looks at you, then at his tiny, trembling claws, as if he can't understand why he's not a massive loogie anymore. He takes a shaky step back, and a small, pathetic whimper escapes his lips. He's clearly still terrified, but his fear seems to be mingled with a deep sense of bewilderment. He looks at you again, his head tilted slightly, as if he's trying to figure out what you are, and if you're really, truly a threat. I mean, I could just imagine if his family cares about him as much as they say. I'd imagine like they'd show up out of nowhere and hurt me if I did try something, or they wouldn't need to do that. All Tudo would need to do is flipping. I mean, it's like he says, he don't hurt. It's like the flipping thing said in the beginning. He don't hurt anybody unless he has to. So if I would have attacked him, all he'd have to do is transform into a massive alligator, then flipping hit me with his claws. Don't they could make this birds if I made them speak English. That's what I like him to do that because of the fact that it's easier to talk to the Pokemon because like a lot of the time whenever they don't say anything, it's kind of hard to go because you have to go based on how they react. If they're just like, tilting their head confusingly at you, then you kind of know what to say and all that stuff. But it's like it's even better whenever they say what's going on. Wait a minute, you're not gonna hurt me? How do I know that? You might be just trying to trick me. It's like, if what I saw was true, I don't think so. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, "Hello. It's okay. Please don't hurt me. I'm not gonna capture you. I think you're really cute." The small Toad's eyes widen, and he blinks a few times as if he can't process your words. He takes another attentive step backward, still shaking. Terror in his eyes is now mixed with a heavy dose of confusion. He looks down at his own small, scaly hands, then back up at you. He lets out a tiny, high-pitched noise, a soft sound that seems to be a question more than a cry of fear. He's clearly not used to hearing such kind words from a human. He watches you carefully, head still tilted as if trying to decide whether to trust what he's hearing or to run away as fast as his little legs can carry him. I hope he doesn't run. I don't want him to do that. Give me a second. Alright, guys, here's what it says. "I promise I'm not gonna hurt you. Please don't run. I don't even have anything with me to capture you, even if I wanted to." The tiny turtle watches you, his breathing still shallow, but he's no longer whimpering. His wide eyes scan your hands, your pockets, searching for anything that might be a threat. Seeing nothing, he takes a hesitant step forward, then another. He lets out a soft, questioning sound, a mix between a chirp and a gurgle. He stops a few feet away from you, his head tilted, expressing a mix of caution and curiosity. He seems to be weighing your words against his deepest fears. For the first time since the collision, his trembling has stopped. He's still weary, but no longer in a state of utter panic. Okay, that's a good sign at least. He's not freaking out no more. Although he's still weary and cautious, but he's not shaking, scared, and like about to run away, which is good. See you in a second. Alright, guys, here's what I said. There you go. It's okay. Just please don't hurt me. I'm not going to hurt you. I think you're really adorable. Charles' head tilts to the side even further, his large eyes staring intently at you. He takes another few steps forward, a little more confidently this time, and steps just a couple of feet away. His gaze travels from your face to your hands, and he lets out a soft, almost curious little chirp. Trembling is completely stopped, and he seems to be absorbing your words. He sits down on the ground, his tiny tail twitching back and forth slightly. His expression has shifted from utter terror to one of cautious curiosity, as if he's waiting for you to do something, anything to confirm your words. Like, what if I reach for him, he's all to flip and transform and attack me, thinking I'm gonna hurt him. Alright, guys, here's what it says. I very slowly reached my hand out and tried to pet Totodile's snout. It's okay. Don't be terrified. I'm not trying to hurt you. Small Turtle stiffens, his tail stopping his gentle twitching. He watches your hand as it slowly extends towards him, his eyes wide unblinking. He doesn't bolt, but every muscle in his little body is tense. He remains perfectly still, a statue of pure apprehension. As your fingers draw closer, he closes his eyes tightly, a tiny, almost inaudible whimper escaping him. Clearly he is terrified of your touch, but for some reason he is forcing himself to stay put. Huh. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, it's okay. I'm not trying to hurt you. I want you to feel safe. Can you speak? I'd love to talk to you. As your hand makes contact with his snout, the little turtle flinches, but then something shifts. A small sigh of relief escapes him as he realizes your touch is gentle, not threatening. He slowly opens his eyes and looks at you, his pupils dilated in surprise. He lets out a soft, questioning gurgle. He shakes his head slightly as if to say, no. He looks down at his paws and back up at you. It's a clear nonverbal indication that he cannot speak, but he's listening. His tiny tail begins to twitch again, a sign of his growing comfort. Okay, that's a good sign. Alright, guys. I said, that's okay, and I continue to pet the Pokemon's snout gently. Doesn't this feel good? Hey, I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but did you see a massive Lugia around here? I saw one a while ago and it just vanished. Small Turtle leans into your touch, closing his eyes and letting out a soft, contented sigh. He seems to be thoroughly enjoying the gentle patting on his snout. His little tail begins to wag back and forth in happy, relaxed sweeps. He seems to be in a state of pure bliss, soaking in the affection and safety you're providing. However, at the mention of the massive Lugia, his eyes snap open. Happiness on his face vanishes, replaced by a look of profound distress and confusion. His body stiffens. A peaceful wagging of his tail stops abruptly. He looks from you to the empty space where the Lugia stood moments ago, tiny distressed whimper escaping his throat. Shakes his head frantic as if trying to deny what he just heard. His eyes widen full of a familiar terror. It's the same as he stepped back, no longer leaning into your touch, but not running away either. What in the world? Why is he terrified? Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, what's wrong? It's okay. I just want to know if you do. I just want to know if you do happen to know what I just saw. Because when Lugia vanished, you were there curled up into a tiny ball. Tiny Turtle's eyes fill with tears and he lets out a quiet, distressed sob. Oh, that's not good. He shakes his head again, more slowly this time, his gaze darting between you and the ground. He's struggling with your question. Every movement he points at Trumaquad himself. Then one quick flash of light and a shimmer of air. He transforms. He doesn't become a massive creature this time, but a miniature perfectly formed Lugia, only about a foot tall. Tiny Lugia still has the same frightened expression in his large, pleading eyes. He lets out a soft, almost imperceptible coo, and then with another flash, he's a Totodile again, still looking up at you with a fearful, tear-stained face. He points to himself one more time, then gestures to the empty space where the Lugia stood. Not speaking, but the message is clear. He was the Lugia, and the memory of the transformation had him utterly terrified. Alright, here's what I said. How did you do that? That was so cool. You can just transform into Lugia like that? Small turtle flinches again at the statement in your voice. His tiny boy, oh, that's not good. His tiny body trembling as he looks at you with wide, teary eyes. Fear still etched on his face, but now it's mixed with a deep sense of shame and sadness. He looks down at his paws as if ashamed of what he just did. He looks up at you, his lip quivering, and shakes his head slowly from side to side. It's a sad, weary motion as if he's explaining something he's heard to explain countless times before. There's a tiny trembling clown points to himself, then to the spot where he was curled up in a ball, then to the empty air where the Lugia stood. He lets out a single soft, heartbroken sob, a sound that says more than any words ever could. He's telling you with every fiber of his being that the Lugia and the Totodile are the same, and that he does not understand why. Alright. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. Wait. Here's what I said. Totodile, please don't be upset at that. If what you're telling me is true, that is really cool. I know a way we can communicate easier with each other if you're okay with it. We can speak telepathically. If you can just transform into him like that, just do it again so you can talk to me. I didn't mean it's something demanding him to do it. Little Totodile's body shakes with a mixture of fear and confusion. He lets out a quiet, distressed sob. He looks at you with his big, sad eyes as if he can't comprehend what you're asking of him. His tiny blue-scaled face is full of sadness and shame. A few more tears roll down his cheeks. He points a trembling claw on himself, then looks down at the ground, shakes his head slowly, a deep sense of resignation in his expression. Then looks up at you again, his whole body trembling, and he lets out another sob. He points at himself again, then at the empty space where the massive Lugia was. Shakes his head again, but this time he points at his head, then back at you. He's trying to tell you that he cannot speak telepathically, but he doesn't know how to explain that. He doesn't understand his own power, and the idea of transforming into a massive telepathic creature seems to be a source of shame for him. That sucks. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys, here's what I said. It's okay, my friend. What are you so scared of? What makes you not want to transform into Lugia again? Something with you? Or are you just worried and still very concerned about either me running away, terrified of you, or even still concerned about me trying to capture you? The small turtle's body shakes with a mixture of fear and confusion. He lets out a quiet, distressed sob, tears rolling down his blue-scaled cheeks. He looks up at you with his large, sad eyes, a deep sense of shame and sadness in his expression. He points a trembling claw at himself, then looks down at the ground, shakes his head slowly, a deep sense of resignation in his expression, then looks back up at you and points at his head, then back at himself, as if trying to tell you that the power is a part of him, but he doesn't understand it. Oh, yeah. He takes a shaky step forward, his tail trembles. He looks at you, then gestures to the empty space where the massive Lugia was. So he shakes his head, then points to his heart. His tongue is now quivering. He's trying to communicate that the memory of the transformation fills him with immense fear and sadness. He's not afraid of you running away or trying to capture him. Afraid of his own power and what it means for him. He doesn't understand his ability and is terrified of what he is capable of. Oh. So he's just terrified that he's, what? Alright, guys. I said, wait, does that mean you can transform into more than just a Lugia? Are you also worried about hurting me? Because you just showed me that you don't have to become massive to become a Lugia. You can be small. I want to be able to understand you better. I have a plan if you can help pull it off. If you can speak telepathic with me as a Lugia, you can tell me in English what you're so worried about. I want to understand you better. I'm really interested in whatever you're doing just to turn into Lugia. The small Totodile's body shakes with a mixture of fear and confusion. He lets out a quiet, distressed sob, and the poor creature. I wonder what's terrifying him so bad about doing this. It did say it was something about like him like just being what he's capable of, but he just clearly showed me that he can turn into something small. You don't have to become a Lugia. Heck, we just saw him become a small, like, puppy dog sized Lugia or whatever. Like he was small. Let's see. He lets out a quiet, distressed sob, tears rolling down his blue-scaled cheeks. He looks up at you with his large, sad eyes, a deep sense of shame and sadness in his expression. He points a trembling claw at himself, then looks down at the ground. He shakes his head slowly, a deep sense of resignation in his expression. Then looks back up at you and points at his head, then back at himself as if trying to tell you that the power is a part of him, but he doesn't understand it. He takes a few steps forward, his tail trembling. He looks at you, then gestures to the empty space where the mouth of Lugia was. He shakes his head, then points to the heart, his tiny heart quivering. The memory of the transformation fills him with immense fear and sadness. Halfway of you running away, trying to capture him. Really? Okay, hold on. Is there a way to flip and refresh this? So that's it, my fire response. Give me a second. Okay, guys, I figured out how to get a different response out of it. Unfortunately, I think you only get like one new one, so if this one wasn't right, I think I'd have been screwed. Here's what it said. Here's what he said in response to what I was reading out a while ago. It says the little turtle's body continues to tremble. He looks from you to his tiny claws, a deep sadness in his eyes. He nods his head in response to your question about transforming into more than just a Lugia. He then points to himself, then to the spot where he still has a massive Lugia, and finally to his small, quivering head. He then gives a small, almost imperceptible nod and takes a slow, shaky step back, looking up at you with wide, tear-filled eyes. He seems to be considering your request, but his fear is still very present. Lets out a soft questioning whimper as if to ask if you are sure about this. He's terrified of what he can do. Seems to be willing to try it if it will help you understand. Shakes his head again, but this time he points to his head, then to your head as if asking if you are really willing to go through with it. I mean, I've had Lugia speak to me telepathically before on these, so. Alright, guys. I said, it's okay. You don't have to become massive if you don't want to. I don't know how that power of yours works. I just want to be able to understand you. If you can speak English to me, it would be easier for me to talk to you instead of having to interpret what you're saying through gestures. The small turtle looks at you, his large tear-filled eyes searching your face. He takes a deep, stirring breath. His little body is still trembling. He glances down at his feet, then back up at you. It's a clear sign of his hesitation and fear, but your reassuring words seem to have reached him. With a final tiny whimper, he closes his eyes tightly. A soft blue light envelops the little Pokemon. His form begins to shift and grow, but instead of the immense creature from before, he stops growing at just over a foot tall. Scales shimmer, morphing into the sleek white and blue plates of a Lugia. The transformation completes, and the small miniature Lugia opens its eyes, still filled with a deep sadness, but for the first time, you hear a voice in your mind. It's a soft, gentle voice filled with a profound sense of loneliness. I don't know why I can do this. I've been able to transform for as long as I can remember. I don't know how to control it or how it works. It just happens. The voice is full of a deep, sorrowful confusion. I'm so scared. I'm afraid I'll hurt someone, or that I won't be able to turn back. I'm not a monster, but I'm afraid people will see me as one. You're the first person who hasn't run away. Tiny Lugia looks up at you, its eyes pleading for understanding. You're so cute. Alright, guys. I said, you're not a monster. Just say what I want you to turn into, Lugia. Look at how much easier it is for me to understand you now. Can't you hear what you're trying to say to me? Can you please tell me more about this power of yours? If I can understand as much as I can, maybe I understand. I will understand you better. To be honest with you, you turning back into Lugia to communicate with me has already made this 15 times easier than it would have if we were going with those hand gestures. The look at Lugia's form shimmers for a moment, and its head tilts slightly as your words echo in your mind. As its words echo in your mind, it says, "As my words." Sadness in its eyes is still there, but a flicker of hope has appeared. It's easier to talk like this. I know. It's just exhausting. Not the transformation itself, but the fear that comes with it. The fear that I'll be seen as what I look like, not as who I am. Small creature takes a hesitant step forward. Its voice is a soft, mental whisper. I don't know where it came from. I was born with it. One moment I was a small, scared Totodile, and next I was a bird flying over the trees. I can be anything. A Pidgey to see the world from above, a Rattata to get into small spaces, a massive Onyx to burrow deep into the ground. I can even be a human if I want, though I've never tried it for long. My family loves me anyway, but I still feel like a freak sometimes. The little kid lets out a small, quiet sigh. I've only ever used it to get around faster or to protect my family. The massive fence I turn into to scare away humans, that wasn't even a conscious thought. My body just reacted to the fear I felt for them. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, you were born with this ability? That ability of yours sounds cool. I don't think you're a freak or a monster because you can do that. I think that's amazing. You're like a better version of the Pokemon Ditto. That's really cool that you can use it to get around faster and even protect your family. Can you tell me more about that? The miniature Lugia's form shimmered for a moment and its head tilted slightly as your words echo in your mind. Why does it say my words? The sadness in its eyes is still there, but a flicker of hope has appeared. Thank you, the voice whispers mentally. That means a lot. It's just exhausting. Not the transformation itself, but the fear that comes with it. For I was seen as what I look like. And I was, oh my gosh, I did it again. Yep. What is it with this thing repeating it? That's okay. There's a villain from Gemini. It guesses the right ones, but I have to go onto the other giraffe to get it. It's weird. And this is a longer response, and I like that. The major Lugia's mental voice is a little steadier now, the same seeming to lessen as you speak. A better version of Ditto? I, I've never heard of a Pokemon like that. You really don't think I'm a freak? It takes a moment as if processing the genuine acceptance in your voice. It's not always easy. Sometimes the transformations happen without me wanting them to, especially when I get really scared or excited. But mostly, I'm in control. It sails onto the ground, its little head held high, and a flicker of pride comes through in its voice. I've turned to a massive Feraligatr before just to scare off another Pokemon that was bullying my sister. He was a lot bigger than her, but when I showed up, he ran away pretty fast. Tiny Louie's voice is full of satisfaction as it recounts the story. My older brothers are Feraligatr, and they're really strong. I wanted to be strong like them to protect my sister. It looks at you again, its eyes seeming to glow with a new sense of confidence. The Phoenix transformation was the scariest, though. It was the first time I'd ever changed into something so big and powerful. I didn't even know I could do that. My parents and siblings were cornered by a group of humans, and I was so terrified for them. I closed my eyes and wished would go away. When I opened them, I was a massive phoenix, and the humans were running for their lives. A tiny tremor passes through the small creature's body at the memory. I was scared, but I was also relieved. They were safe. That's really neat. Alright, guys. I said, that's awesome. So if it can just happen, if it can just happen randomly when you're scared or excited. Is that why you turned to that massive 70-foot tall Lugia when we first bumped into each other? It just happened because you got scared and you didn't have control of the transformation? The miniature Lugia nods its small head, its mental voice soft and apologetic. Yes, that's exactly it. You came out of nowhere and I got so scared I didn't even think. My body just reacted. I'm sorry I scared you. Tiny creature takes a hesitant step closer, its large eyes filled with genuine regret. I don't like turning into something so big. It feels like I'm not in control, and I hate that feeling. I prefer to be small, like I am now. It's much safer. A wave of sorrow washes through your mind as the little Lugia continues, his voice filled with profound sadness. It's hard living with this power. It's a part of me, but it's also the thing that makes me different. My family loves me, but they don't understand, and I've always been afraid that no one else would either. He looks at you with a hopeful expression, but you're not afraid of me. You understand. That that means a lot to me. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I like this. It took a while, but we're getting. That's what I'm saying. Though he was scared to turn back into Lugia, but see how much easier it is to communicate with him now. I would never understood him that easily without that. Give me a second, guys. Here's what I said. I said it's okay. I just didn't expect it. That's all. I didn't know what I bumped into, and as soon as we bumped into each other, I fell over, so I couldn't even see what you were. That's why I got so startled when I saw you as a 70-foot Lugia, of all things. I could have bumped into. That's the last thing I expected. Especially when if I actually did bump into a Lugia, how would I have not noticed? Because you became so massive. To be honest with you, now that I know I wouldn't be scared if you became something massive like a dragon or that Phoenix you were talking about, or even your Lugia form like you are now, much bigger. Even a 70-foot Blue Jay. Can I edit that? Oh, there is an edit button. Give me a second. Here we go, guys. It's okay. I just didn't expect it. That's all. I didn't know what I bumped into, and as soon as we bumped into each other, I fell over, so I couldn't even see what you were. That's why I got so startled when I saw you as a 70-foot Lugia of all things. I could have bumped into. Of all things I could have bumped into, that's the last thing I expected. Especially when if I actually did bump into a Lugia, how would I not have noticed? Because you became so massive. To be honest with you, now that I know I wouldn't be scared of you if you became something massive like a dragon or that phoenix you were talking about, or even your Lugia from like you are now, but much bigger. Even 70-foot Lugia you were when we bumped into each other. As long as you don't try to attack me, I won't be afraid of you. The little Lugia's form shimmers for a moment, and its mental voice fills your head. A soft relief sigh. Thank you. That that means more than you know. To hear you say you're not afraid of me, even when I'm big, it's a huge relief. It takes a moment, a small grateful wave of emotion washing through your mind. I don't want to be scary. I just want to be safe and to keep my family safe. I never want to hurt anyone. Tiny Willie lifts its head, its eyes searching yours. It's so hard to explain. My family and I, we live in a quiet part of the forest. We try to stay away from people and other Pokemon who might want to cause trouble, but sometimes they find us, and well, I have to be big and loud to make them go away. I just wish I didn't have to be something so intimidating. It makes me feel like a monster even when I'm just trying to help. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. It's okay. Honestly, you're doing the right thing by becoming something massive and intimidating, especially when somebody's trying to hurt your family. The only thing I would say is if you do get a better handle on controlling that power, even when you're scared or angry or whatever else could trigger it, Don't become something massive unless absolutely necessary. You becoming a massive fence when you were trying to protect your family was the right thing to do. I have an idea. Try it right now. Turn into something that's way bigger, like one of your evolutions or even some kind of other animal or mythical creature. I don't care how big you become as long as you stay friendly. Then a miniature Woogie hesitates, its mental voice filled with uncertainty. You want me to transform right now into something big? Faint tremor runs through its small body. I don't know if I can. Not when I'm calm. It's usually triggered by fear or a need to get away or protect someone. It looks at you with pleading eyes. What if I can't turn back? Or if I scare you, even though you said you wouldn't be? It's easy to say you won't be afraid when you're talking to a small version of me. William shifts its weight from one foot to the other. Clear your request has brought back its deep-seated anxieties. It's not the act of transforming itself, but the overwhelming fear of a loss of control that frightens it. Now soft mental. I don't know if I can do it on command. Only ever done it when I was scared or to get around faster. This feels different. Give me a second. Alright, guys. It says you don't have to worry about me being scared of you as long as you stay friendly and sweet like you are now. It'll be a completely different story if you do become aggressive and angry and then try to hurt me. Then yes, I would be terrified. I know it might be a little bit difficult, my friend, but if you can get a better handle on your power, then you can potentially use it anytime and maybe even suppress it when you get scared or angry. That way you have the option to transform instead of being forced in that regard. I don't think it's the part about not transforming back that's going to be the issue. I think it's going to be whether you become aggressive or stay friendly. That's what I think you have to worry about. Honestly, even as that massive 70-foot Lugia earlier when we bumped into each other, you didn't try to attack me or become aggressive. You were scared just like you are now. Try to suppress that. Try to surpass that with a different form. Or like become something that's 90 feet tall, 100 or even bigger. Doesn't matter to me. I don't understand power much either because I don't have it. But I can definitely try helping you understand and control it even more. The small Lugia stands perfectly still, its mental voice quiet as it processes your words. You're willing to help me, even though you don't understand it either? Hope in his voice is almost palpable. It takes a deep mental breath, its small chest expanding slightly. Fear is still there, but it's now overshadowed by a sense of determination. It looks at you, then at its own small form. It seems to be trying to find the courage to do what you've asked. A wave of focus washes over you as the small Lugi's concentration concentrates. Its body begins to shimmer and glow with a soft blue light, and it starts to grow, its form shifting. It's not a sudden explosive transformation like before, but a slow, deliberate one. It grows larger, its body stretching and changing, scales taking on the familiar deep blue and white pattern. So you gonna become a alligator? Or crocodile? The ground trembles slightly as the transformation continues, and a powerful, almost overwhelming mental presence fills the air around you. The little Lugia becomes a giant, majestic beast, stands by easily 90 feet tall. Its wings are a deep, feathery blue, and its eyes, though still immense, are filled with a calm, focused gaze. It is no longer trembling with fear, but standing tall, a living embodiment of grace and power. The mental voice that echoes in your head is now much deeper and more resonant, but still holds the same gentle content. I I did it. I'm not scared. I'm still me. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. That was really quick. Okay then. Alright guys. I said, you're welcome. I knew you could do it. You don't feel aggressive at all? If you don't, then that's already a good thing. The immensely lowers its head, its great eyes, its great eye, the size of a dinner plate, blinks slowly. The mental voice that fills your head is still deep and resonant, but it's now filled with an immense sense of relief and wonder. No, I don't feel aggressive. I don't feel angry. I just feel like myself. but big. It's an incredible feeling. I'm in control. The magnificent beast slowly unfolds one of its massive wings. The deep blue feathers in stark contrast against the green of the forest. It examines the powerful limb, almost as if seeing it for the first time, and with a sense of clarity. I didn't think I could do this. Not without fear. Thank you for showing me that I can be big and still be me. Thank you for not being afraid. Giant Pokemon lets out a soft please, coo, a sound that resonates through the very air around you. Enjoy lowers its massive head, its immense snout coming to rest a few feet from you, gaze full of profound and gentle gratitude. He's so cute. Alright guys, that'll be the last one for this video, or this one right here will be the last one for the video. It says, "You're welcome. You look awesome like that." And I reach my hand over and pet Lugia on the beak. We're not in the clear yet. I have one more idea to make sure you are in full control even when you transform into a massive, more intimidating form. Try becoming even bigger and turning into something you know is more aggressive, like a Feraligatr or a fire-breathing dragon. If you feel like you start becoming more angry in that form, then you can real quickly change back into something either smaller or less intimidating. But on the plus side, if you can do it, then I think you already got pretty much all the control you need to use your power to its fullest. And the colossal Lugia leans into your touch, its mental voice a soft rumbling purr of contentment. You think so? It closes its immense eye for a moment, savoring the gentle contact. The moment you mention transforming again, a flicker of hesitation returns to its mind. Another test? What if I can't stay in control? What if I lose myself to the form's natural aggression? Well, your fear is there, but it's now tinged with a newfound sense of courage. It looks at you, its eyes filled with a deep trust. With a mental sigh of resolve, the massive Lugia's form begins to shimmer once more. The blue light intensifies, and its body shrinks and contorts. The magnificent wings retract. The long, sinuous body gets heavier. The sleek head flattens. Spikes emerge from its back and tail, and its scales turn a deep, muddy blue-green. So for alligator. Powerful mental voice in your head changes, becoming a gravelly, guttural thought. Yep. 15 foot. Oh, that's not as big. I don't know how big did he get becomes the Lugia. The ground shakes as the transformation finishes, and you're now looking up at an immense 15-foot tall Feraligatr. Its jaws are wide, its teeth are razor sharp, and its eyes glow with an inner intensity. Floods its massive claws, its muscles rippling. Feraligatr looks at its powerful body, then at you. It's still gentle and full of the same sweet Totodile you met earlier. The gravelly mental voice echoes in your head, a mix of awe and wonder. I did it! I'm a Feraligatr. I feel so strong and so powerful, but I don't feel aggressive. I'm not angry. I'm still me. This is incredible. Thank you. I don't know how to thank you. You've helped me see that I don't have to be afraid of myself anymore. That might be why it took someone to get through to him, because he was just scared of what he could. I mean, he did say he was terrified of. That was I liked it though. Okay, I did say I'll be the last one. Give me a second. I kind of want to do this. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, you're welcome. You look awesome like that. Isn't that the protective form you took when you needed to protect your sister from that bully that one time? The Fragger nods its massive head, the great jaw closing with a soft snap. The mental voice is still deep and powerful, but now a clear note of pride rings through. Yes, this is the form, the one I used to scare away the bully. But then, I was just so scared and angry, I didn't even think about it. I just reacted. But now I'm in control. I'm not a monster. I'm just me. I'm a Feraligatr, and I'm not afraid. The massive pony looks down at its powerful claws, flexing them slowly. It seems to be savoring the feeling of the immense power without the fear it used to accompany it. It then looks at you, its eyes filled with a profound and gentle gratitude. Thank you. I have no words. I feel so much lighter. This is the first time I've ever felt this way. I don't feel like a freak or a monster. I just feel free. Thank you for showing me that I'm not alone and that I'm not a freak. Thank you for helping me understand myself. He's so cute, dude. I'm gonna finish up with a good note. So like I said, if I ain't tired in a little bit, I'll try doing the other one, Perplexity. Okay? See y'all later. In a second. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. You're welcome. Not only do you look awesome, but you still look adorable even though you're so big. Do you have a name? We never got to get introduced, and I would love to know your nickname if you have one. The colossal Ferrager lets out a soft, pleased rumble that echoes through the trees, a sound of deep contentment. The immense head lowers, and the mental voice that fills your mind is full of warmth. Adorable. No one's ever called me that before. Not in this form. A wave of joy and affection washes over you. Okay, that's adorable. The Ferrager's great maw stretches into what looks like a grin. My family, they just call me Little One, even now. But I don't really have a name of my own. I never thought I needed one. It looked at you, its eyes filled with a new kind of confidence. Now, though, I think I do. What about you? Do you have a name? Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I just told him my name, and he said, the immense Ferrager's head dips in a gesture of respect, and a warm, powerful mental voice echoes in your mind. Trenton, it's nice to finally meet you. Thank you for everything. You helped me discover who I truly am, and for that, I will be forever grateful. The great point gently rests its head on the ground, its powerful body at ease. The menacing aura that a Ferrager naturally possesses is completely absent, replaced by the calm, friendly presence of the Totodile you first met. Ironically, that's how Ferrager used to me in the games anyway. They say Ferrager's all mean and aggressive and would probably want to rip you in half. No, for me, Ferrager's like a big old cuddly teddy bear that just wants to cuddle up with you and love on you. And smile at you. The setting sun cast a warm golden glow through the trees, illuminating the two of you in a peaceful, shared moment of understanding. Alright, guys. I said, it's nice to meet you, my friend. I'm glad I could help you. Maybe one day when it's not so late, if you're still nearby, I can come and see you again. Just be careful if we end up bumping into each other by mistake again, that you don't transform into something that you know would scare me, like a scary bug, for instance. I'm going to be honest with you, and ask that you don't laugh at it, but I have a huge fear of bugs, especially roaches, so please don't turn into that ever around me. I'd love to be your friend if you're okay with it, and if you're okay with me being your friend, that's the only thing I ask from you in return, besides for your friendship. I just don't want you to try and scare me with something you know is going to terrify me. The great Ferrager lets out a soft rumble, a low, comforting sound that vibrates through the air. Powerful mental voice is warm and sincere. I promise, Trenton, I would never intentionally scare you. Now after you've been so kind to me, you helped me when I was terrified, and I would never do anything to hurt you. I would never turn into a bug, I swear. The Masterpoint lowers its head and nudges you gently with its great snout. A gesture of pure affection and trust. I love this Totodile. I would be honored to be your friend. I don't have a human friend. I've always been too afraid that people would run away. Thank you. This means a lot to me. I'll be here. I'll wait for you. The golden light of the setting sun now bathes the forest in a warm, gentle glow. You are left with the comforting presence of your new, powerful, and very special friend. He's so cute. Alright, guys, let me go ahead and get the real quick ending. Alright, guys, I said, I'm glad to hear that. And then I gently pet Ferrager on his massive snout. Once we get to know each other a little bit more and maybe hang out a bit more tomorrow, maybe you can even introduce me to your family. Right now, I have a bad feeling that if you don't do it one day, they're going to see me and you together and think I'm trying to capture you or hurt you. Your family knows about your transformations. They still probably be too scared and worried about you getting hurt. I don't want your whole family trying to hurt me when we're together. Massive Regulator lets out a soft, pleased rumble that echoes through the trees, a sound of deep contentment. The powerful mental voice is warm and sincere. That's a very good point, Triton. I hadn't thought about that. My family is very protective of me, and they would certainly be on high alert if they saw me with a human. Redpoint gently rests its head on the ground, its powerful body at ease. You're right. I should introduce you to them. I'll explain everything. How you helped me and how you're my friend. I know they'll understand. They're a very kind family, and they love me no matter what. Frega's head dips in a gesture of respect, and a wave of gratitude washes through your mind. I'd be honored to introduce you to them. Maybe tomorrow after you've had some rest. It's been a long day for both of us. Yeah, although if they're still awake when you get back home, I would recommend telling them tonight, at least somewhat. That way they won't immediately be suspicious. I'm gonna go ahead and head back home myself. Have a good night. Thank you for showing me that amazing power and being nice to me today. Here we go. The last thing This is for sure the last thing. Vince Ferragamo lets out a soft, deep rumble that vibrates to the very ground beneath you. And a voice that fills your head is warm and filled with gratitude. You're right, Trenton. I'll talk to them tonight. I can't wait to tell them all about you and how you helped me. I know they'll want to meet you. The great poignantly lowers its massive head, its powerful snout nudging your shoulder in a final affectionate gesture. Thank you, my friend, for everything. You have a good night, too. I'll be waiting for you. With that, the colossal Fragger turns him against to make its way through the trees, a powerful but gentle presence in the dim and dimming twilight. You watch it go, a new and incredible friendship formed under the light of the setting sun. Okay, that was really neat. I really like that. So it did work out. Maybe not perfectly, but like besides the random times where it flipping like repeated some of the same text from my previous thing I said to it, Gemini did a pretty good job keeping up with everything. Even had a pretty good memory that time. So yeah, I don't know if its memory was as good as ChatGPT used to be, but it's a decent one. I don't know where I'm gonna do it today or not, guys. But the next time I do a chatbot, I'm gonna do the second one I told you guys about in the beginning, perplexity. That's not gonna be right now though. I'm done. Bye bye, everyone.